Okie dokie folks, so we're going to take a brief look under the cover of two of the Warmachine books. So this is Warmachine Prime Mark II. This is the second edition of the core rules for Warmachine. And this is the first video for what will hopefully be a relatively regular feature of Warmachine Wednesdays. So hopefully every Wednesday, every fortnight at the sort of latest, I want to be doing a new Warmachine video just to try and keep me on track with everything. So it's a lovely book, it's quite thick, nowhere near as thick as other rule books we could mention, but it's very in depth. So there's the foreword about what they've changed, and rule 5, the basic rules: thou shalt not whine, come heavy or don't come at all, give as good as you get, win graciously, lose valiantly, and page 5 is not an excuse to be a dick. Very important rules. Now, one of the things I like about Warmachine is they're very heavy on fluff. This is all backstory at the moment, talking about all of the fights through the Iron Kingdoms where it's all set. So this is Western Imoran, and where everybody hangs their hat. Well, let's keep flicking through. I haven't had a chance to have a very good read through all of the back history of the Iron Kingdoms, but I'm going to be having a look. Rules section. Generally we're played on a 4x4 foot table. You need tape measure, you need dice, as with everything. You only need about 6 dice, don't need a lot for this one. A couple of tokens to indicate things like focus points and any ongoing spells that you have, and you're pretty much good to go. All you need apart from that are the stat cards for each of your units. Okay, let's move through here. So, talking about dice, different types of models, profiles, weapons, all of the usual things you'll find in a rulebook. And this is something that I'll run through later on in my channel once I've had time to have a few practice games to get my head around it. What I'll probably do is run through maybe a few tutorial games, if I can find people that are willing to come on camera with me. So we'll flick through all of this. More rules, and it talks about the different factions that we have. So, the main faction is Cygnar. They're the heroes of the game, if you will. These are the Imperium of Warhammer, the Space Marines. So very technological, great nation, original developers of the Warjacks, and they're out to just be as good as they can. Protectorate of Menoth. Religious extremists. These are the religious crusaders of the world. Cador. Frozen North. Lots of land, well, not a lot of land, a lot of population, making war on everyone else to steal their land. Cryx, the undead. These are the guys that I am playing, just because they remind me of the Forsaken from my days as a World of Warcraft player. The Cryx worship, they are brought around by Toruk, who is the father of all dragons, basically. And Toruk's whole angle is he wants to find all of his offspring and eat their hearts, absorb their power, become the overlord of the world, and have everything dead and serving him. There is Ios and the Retribution of Skryre. They're like elves, and those are the main ones that you get. You also have factions of mercenaries, and they are introducing a new faction at the moment, which is a kind of steampunky technological cyborg thing, which is kind of cool. So then in the core rulebook, back history of each race is in here. So this is Cygnar's at the moment, or each faction rather than race. And then they have the basic characters, warcasters, sorry, jacks and units. So that's Cygnar, Menoth, again, background, warcasters, units, jacks, Cador, background, warcasters, jacks, units, Cryx, who are going to be my guys, again their background, Warcasters, Jacks, and units. Mercenaries, your final faction, who all hunt with a little bit of everyone. And then at the back we have our usual model gallery to show off some painted shinies, some battles going on, to give everyone a bit of inspiration. And behind all of that, the how-to section, which you get in a lot of rule books. Difference between brushes, how to prep, how to paint. So it's a very, very comprehensive book. Well worth getting. You don't need to have this really to start Warmachine, because if you buy the battle force battalions, the battle groups, sorry, they come with a quick start guide, which will get you into most of what you need. But this just has all of the little nitty-gritty bits of rules, which is well worth knowing. Lovely book, lots of fluff, absolute must if you're going to be getting into Warmachine. So this is going to be on my reading material for the next week or so, alongside the standard rulebook. I've also bought the specific Forces of Warmachine Cryx book. So this is all Cryx. So, all of our background, lovely little story, and the artwork for the Warmachine books, for all of their stuff, is absolutely phenomenal. It's really, really nice. So again, we'll talk about all the background of Cryx. This is very cool, especially for me that's new to Warmachine. You have these things called theme forces. So it's basically pre-written armies that follow the story and the evolution of each Warcaster as they go through. One of my particular favourite Warcasters is this particular chap, Gorshade. And for me this is good because it lets me know how he plays and models and units that work well with his rule sets. So I'm going to be using a couple of Jacks, but mostly things like Bane Thralls and Undeads. And as you go through these lists, if you wanted to build a theme list, each tier you go up you get extra advantages. So if I was to do Gorshade's tier 1 list, then I can only include non-character Warjacks with Pathfinder. If they don't have Pathfinder, can't take them. Bane Thralls, Rifil and Nice Hunters, and solos that are incorporeal, or Bane Lord Tartarus. If I take those, then any Stalker Bonejacks I take gain advanced deployment. If I take 2 or more Bane Thrall units into tier 2, Bane Thrall units and Tartarus gain an advanced move, which is very cool. Go up again to tier 3, +1 on the starting roll. Go up to tier 4, I get an extra Stalker free of charge. You get nice little bonuses. And they have these set out for pretty much all of our casters. And then we're into the nitty-gritty bits of rules of all of our individual casters. There he is. It's mine, Gorshade. I really do love the artwork that they bring out for these. It's just a shame when you get some models that just don't live up to the artwork. One caster that I really, really like, and really want, his artwork is insane. I mean, look at that. But his model, not so much. So I'm going to have to see what I can do about fiddling that and making something suitably epic so I can use Lichlord Terminus. And then after all the rules, through the Warjacks, which again, beautiful artwork, and the units, which has some, again, I could read this book all day just with the pictures. All the way through our units to the very end, and then we have the how-to and the galleries. So again, very comprehensive, very good. It's an army book, the same the world over. But these are the 2 books that I have to get started with my Forces of Cryx. Alongside my Forces of Cryx, I've also invested in their specific tokens. So corrosion effect tokens for when I pour acid over jacks, upkeep spells if I curse anything. Again, you can just write on these for whatever sort of spells and effects you want to put on them. Corpse tokens for when I kill a living unit. Soul tokens to add to my warcasters. And most importantly, although I can't find half of them, focus tokens for my warcasters. So, tokens. Nice shiny new set of dice, because every new army needs special dice. So I invested in some funky looking dice for them. And tape measures are tape measures. You can never get away from Games Workshop. This is the start of my Warmachine Forces, guys. This is the start of Warmachine Wednesdays. Stay tuned, and I will see you all in the near future. If you see anything you like, or if you want to give me any tips for playing Warmachine as Cryx, by all means drop me a message, let me know, and I'll see if I can use them. Thanks folks, you take care, have a good day. Bye.